The original Ultraman series is getting upgraded from Blu-ray to 4K in North America next year, but we have a little sneak preview of what that will be like.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and today we're taking a look at the Ultraman 4K Discovery 4K Blu-ray from Alliance Entertainment, formerly known as Mill Creek. This is our first look at the Ultraman 4K project, which is confirmed to be getting 4K Blu-rays from Alliance Entertainment in 2026 for Ultraman and Ultra 7, following the Japanese releases of these remasters. But 4K Discovery is not the show, it's something a little different, and I watched through it to make sure I could tell you guys what it is. So we're going to be going into the details of this release and also asking the eternal question, do you need this for your collection? On that note, if you enjoy these types of videos, please hit the like button, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, including reviews of the 4K sets for Ultraman and Ultra 7 when they do come out. So what is Ultraman 4K Discovery? So this is, I don't want to call it a sampler disc because the retail price is like $70. What this is a project that aired in Japan to promote the 4K release of the series. And it's basically a compilation special. So let me explain here. So this guy here, he's the original narrator for the original Ultraman series. And he appears on camera in these specials running a movie theater. And this girl comes to the movie theater, that's her there, and the two of them sit and talk, and he shows her a story from Ultraman, which is basically an entire episode. And then they discuss the episode themes and how they relate to real life and what they think of the episode. It's, you know, obviously very scripted, but what's really cool about it is that you get kind of like an insightful commentary on some of these episodes from the perspective of someone who narrated the show and a perspective of someone who's never seen it before. And I think that's a really cool sort of special thing. Now, that being said, the way this works out is the runtime down here is 7 hours because there's 4 specials in total with 4 episodes each, covering 16 episodes of the show, which is about half the series, honestly. It wasn't a long-running series. So the way it kind of works is that there's these interlude stories. They set up the story, they show you an episode. They set up a story, show you an episode, and then the episodes themselves are presented in the new 4K transfers. So you're getting like a sneak preview of what the 4K transfer looks like, but you're also getting kind of a neat framing device around it. And I think that is super, super fun. Now, that being said, whether or not you need to buy this, we'll talk about at the end of the video. Let's go over the packaging, though, because a lot of people, when I made my Ultraman ARC review, which, you know, I did not clickbait when I said it's the last Mill Creek Ultraman release. It is the last one with the Mill Creek logo. For those that are aware, the parent company to Mill Creek has rebranded them Alliance Home Entertainment because they are Alliance Entertainment, and so they wanted to have consistent branding. So going from 4K Discovery onward, the Alliance Entertainment logo will appear on the spines and on the front of the discs. This is also the first 4K release from Alliance Mill Creek for Ultraman. So spine-wise, it's totally different, and that's sort of be expected. We'll talk about spines and collection stuff towards the end of the video. I do like the cover art. Nice shot of Ultraman, shots of the episodes, as well as, of course, our wonderful narrator. So I think it looks pretty good, honestly. It's a nice packaging style. It's very similar to the other Ultraman releases, but it is a little bit different because this is a 4K release now. Inside, of course, we got 4K Ultra HD. So for those unaware, you do need to have a 4K Blu-ray player. You also got to have your 4K HDMI cable with the high speed and a 4K TV to get the full resolution. Now, if you have a 4K Blu-ray player in the form of like a PS5, you'll still be able to run this even if you don't have a 4K TV. You just need the player that will accept 4K discs. And then here we go. And these are the 4 specials. We got Stories of Life, Stories of Romance, Stories of Friendship, and Stories of Justice. The episodes aren't chronological. They're just across the specials. But you see, Disc 1, Disc 2. It is an all-region release, A, B, and C, because 4K discs are not region lockable, which is pretty nice. And so it looks really good. I think this is great. It doesn't come with a booklet or anything, but I don't really know what you could include. So naturally, of course, we do need to discuss what's going on here, including the English dub. So let's take a look at that. We're going to take a look at the discs, then we'll come back and talk about the English dub. All right, so here we have disc 1 of 4K Discovery. There's 2 stories on this. We got Stories of Life and Stories of Romance. The only options we have are play all and setup, because the setup menu is going to be Japanese 2.0 audio, English 2.0 audio, which is a brand new dub, and English subtitles on or off. So what I wanted to check was I'm going to do the Japanese subtitles on, English 2.0 audio, and see if it syncs up. But let's take a look at these, because they're very interesting. So every one of these starts with the same intro, which is the narrator of the original Ultraman talking about how many stories have been born in this world, kind of setting up the concept of these specials being like, you know, telling the stories. The cool part is that the chapter markers will take you to the actual interlude segments. So if you wanted to just watch the new stuff that's not just the episodes being played, you can totally skip and do that, which is awesome. Okay, so I just checked. The English dub is, you know, slightly different than the direct Japanese subtitles, so there's no English closed captioning for the English dub. It's just going to be the subtitles used for the Japanese audio. It's not the worst, but not the best either, because we do like to have English captions when we can, but at least we have subtitles for the Japanese version that are not just English dub captions. Like, if I'm picking one, I'd rather have subtitles designed for the Japanese audio than English dub captions being used for Japanese audio. I would like both, but if I have to pick one, this is the one I'd pick. Now, in terms of the remaster on the show itself, it's excellent. It looks really, really good. You've got the proper color balance that people have been looking for since the Blu-ray didn't quite have that. It's got the really sharp visuals. It's done off the film prints. It looks really specifically fantastic. Like, I think that as a preview, sort of like, say as a preview of the upcoming 4K box set, like, if the episodes look this great, that's going to be an amazing set for sure. I also do like that, unlike some of their Blu-ray releases and DVD releases, the subtitles do stand out a lot better, and I don't know exactly what the difference is. I don't know if that's just the 4K disc format, but I like that the subtitles are a lot easier to read than, say, on the normal Blu-rays. So each of these specials runs about an hour and 45 minutes. That is basically to cover 4 episodes of the show, and they're not exactly sequential episodes, but each special has 4 episodes, and there's 4 specials in total. So you're getting 16 of the original Ultraman series, which is almost half of it in this set, which I think is kind of interesting to have in addition to like a complete box set for it. But yeah, I think it's really cool that these specials exist, though I do wonder if they could have just been a little bonus on something else. I did want to show what the Alliance Entertainment logo looks like for those curious, because many of us have been collecting these or are used to the Mill Creek logo. It's a new logo, new times. And you can see here, Disc 2 is basically the same setup where you've got Stories of Friendship, Stories of Justice. Setup is exactly the same, and then you do have the trailer for 4K Discovery, which I think is neat. Would have liked a little bit more. I think that it would have been nice to maybe have a behind-the-scenes feature on how they did the 4K restoration. I don't know if that's going to be included on the complete series release, but I hope there's something, because the transfer is really good, and I'd love to know how they did it. But there's not much else to talk about on the discs themselves. So how about that English dub? So let's discuss this, because I kind of wanted to do this here because it's a little bit easier for filming. Mostly because my normal Blu-ray player that you guys see in my videos, that's not a 4K player, so I have to use the 4K player in the living room to film the 4K stuff. Anyways, point being, the Ultraman dub, right? So let's go back, let's do a little history here. So when Mill Creek released Ultraman on Blu-ray, right, it was only the Japanese audio. It was just Japanese, no English dub. They said they couldn't get all the English dub masters, even though they had done them on DVD and stuff. And then we've got the Birth of Ultraman, and then there was also the Trials of Ultraman, which did feature some English dub episodes. Like this one contained, you could see it contained episodes 1 to 19, 26, 27, 33, and 37, with the original English dub that was done by the Speed Racer cast. I picked this up because it has the Birth of Ultraman pre-premiere special. Not the last time I'm going to be referencing this, but the idea was that they had some of the episodes dubbed, so they put them out on these smaller collections. That was how it was done. Now, when they announced the 4K for Ultraman, they said the set would contain an English dub, and I wasn't there at G-Fest when they announced that, so I don't know if they were specific in the panel and people just reported it was going to be the original dub. There is a new dub produced for this. So obviously the framing device has a new dub, but the episodes themselves are also redubbed, and it's the Okatron 5000 group, the dubbing studio, that's been doing shows like Ultraman Arc or Zet and Blazar. The recent dub, Shin Ultraman, Okatron 5000, Christopher Sabat's company, has been doing the dubs for Ultraman lately in collaboration with Tsuburaya. And so they've done the same here, and so they've used similar talent, and they've dubbed the series. And so there is a full English dub for all 7 hours of these specials, because you have not only the framing device, but also the episodes themselves. Now, if I were to take a guess, based on how the Ultraman USA release went down, if you want to go check out my video on that, if you haven't already, I would take a guess that the original Speed Racer cast dub is not going to be on the Ultraman 4K for the series. Now, I could be wrong, because again, they didn't specify, but since there's an entirely new dub existing for this, I think they entirely redubbed the entire original series with the Okatron 5000 cast for the 4K. Now, I don't have a problem with that. Some people, that may be a deal breaker. I'm just speculating. I want you to know, I do not know what's going to be on the Ultraman Complete Series 4K. We will not know until it goes up for solicitation, and probably not even know until it releases, which is when I will cover it. But I did want to have people be aware there is a brand new dub and a brand new dub cast for this show within these specials, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's going to be the case going forward to the full series release. But we do need to answer the big question, which is, do you need to buy this? So, the eternal question, who is this for? This is kind of a weird release, right? Like, this is something that when it came out in Japan, it was before the 4K came out, and I think they aired on Tsuburaya Imagination. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't have 100% info on some of these things. It aired on, a way you could watch it. You could watch these specials, relive some classic episodes, and enjoy a little thing. And I think that's great. And in Japan, they released the 4K Blu-ray and then didn't release the special on Blu-ray until September of this year, like only a couple months ago. And then the English release came pretty darn quick after that. The thing is, I feel like this is just not super necessary for most collectors, right? Like, if you're wanting to own Ultraman on 4K, most people probably want to own the entire series. Then on the flip side, because of the price of 4K, maybe owning 16 of the best episodes is all you need. This is going to be a case-by-case basis. So for me, I bought it because I review the Ultraman Blu-rays on this channel. I don't buy all the compilations that have no new material, but anything that's got new material, I own it. It's part of my job. I review things, right? Like, I bought The Birth of Ultraman, not necessarily because it had the English dub, because I really didn't care about that, but it had the Birth of Ultraman pre-premiere special, the special that aired prior with Eiji Tsuburaya introducing Ultraman to the world. That I wanted, because that wasn't on my previous set, and that was a new thing. It wasn't just like a dub, it was a new thing. And then with this, the framing stories, that's brand new, so of course I'm going to pick it up. But just like I find this to be a little redundant with this, ultimately when I get that 4K of the Ultraman series, it's going to feel a little redundant. Now, ideally, I think the way you could have done it, and this is just me, I don't know logistics, whatever, put the framing stories as a connected thing, as a bonus feature on the 4K. That's how I would have done it. Now, that being said, there may be some legal things with that. Or the fact that we got this at all is kind of great. So it depends on who you are. If you're someone that's wanting to see how the 4K transfer looks, this is a little too expensive for that. This sort of reminds me of Star Trek The Next Generation. Prior to its Blu-ray project coming out, they released like a sampler disc that was like, look how great the transfer is, and then they released a $125 single season of Star Trek. That might be kind of what this is, except, again, this is like $70 most places. So, again, hard toss-up. Now, if you're a completionist, you've already decided that you're buying this because you got them all. And if you're somebody that's trying to get all the unique stuff like me, you've also probably already decided that. But if you're somebody that's like, do I want this? I would say, just ask yourself, do you want the entire Ultraman series on 4K? It's a beautiful transfer, absolutely beautiful transfer. Definitely an upgrade from this in terms of the video quality. If you're somebody that wants the whole series on 4K and you don't care about the framing stories that run 20 minutes tops, don't bother with this. If you're somebody that has the Blu-ray and you don't really feel like rebuying the entire series but want some of the episodes on 4K, this is good for that too, because outside of the credits, the opening and ending credits, you get 16 episodes in this set. So that's pretty good, especially considering, trying to remember how many episodes the original series ran, because I'm kind of blanking on my information. Because the original Ultraman was not that long, right? Yeah, it was 39 episodes. So you're getting a significant chunk when it comes to 4K Discovery. So I would say that's kind of what it is, right? Like if you want to rebuy all of Ultraman, this is going to feel redundant and it is an extra money you don't need to spend. But if you only want certain episodes, look up which ones are in 4K Discovery. This might be enough for you. Now the eternal question is, where do you put this on your shelf? Because technically I think it came out after one of the modern shows, so you could put it there since it is technically a new special. But it's episodes of original Ultraman, so you kind of want to put it with that. But, you know, it's probably going to go better with the 4K. I think it's going to be kind of like the Birth for me. I have the Birth floating. It just kind of sits on top of my Ultraman Blu-rays because the spine art puts Ultra Q there, and then Birth would go between Ultra Q and Ultraman. So I'm just going to be probably putting these on top of the shelf, and then everything else will be in proper order. Yeah, the spine's different, but we'll see how the 4K spine turns out. This might actually match the 4Ks for Ultraman and 7. That's it for my review of this. Like I said, it's going to be completely up to you if this is something you want, and I hope I gave you enough information to figure that out. And if I didn't, leave any questions or concerns in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer any questions I can. It is kind of a strange release, but I do think it's a good one. If this is what you're into, this is definitely a good pickup, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the full series in 4K. I'm really curious to see how that release will be, because this is a good benchmark to say the 4K transfer and the 4K disc release of it should be excellent. On that note, if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to the notification bell if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you want to continue the conversation, you can join our Discord server in the link below. You can also join as a channel member and get perks like early access to videos and special shoutouts. Let's give those special shoutouts to our channel members. Special shout out to all of our channel members, including Captain Tears, Spin-54, Master Ben 95, Forever 1000, Super Shaddix Boom, Veloquins, Rogue Leader 2448, Mr. Smelly Potato Knight, Kaiju 1954, Cameron Meter, Patty, Infinite 1985, Tokusatsu, NXT, Crestfallen Thoughts at Midnight, Tarin Eason, Common Jojo, Mama Dup, Jess Hood, Phyllis Nerdiverse, Dr. Grid, Oni Onichan, David Johnson, and Alt Mode Archive. Thank you everybody for your support, channel members and viewers alike. If you still wish, you can find me on social media on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Soundout12. You can also find my wonderful graphic designer on social media and Discord at DarkClaw643. And you can find Hero Club at hero-club.com for Tokusatsu interviews and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying, see you when the 4K drops.